Have you ever followed all the self-care advice online and still felt exhausted? You bought the skincare, you watched the motivational videos, you tried journaling, you took mental health breaks, but somehow you still don't feel happier. What if I told you that some of the most popular self-care advice is actually making your life worse? Not because the advice is completely wrong, but because it's incomplete. Real self-care isn't always comfortable. It isn't always aesthetic, and definitely isn't always what social media makes it look like. Today, we're exposing 5 self-care myths that are secretly harming your well-being and, more importantly, what you should do instead. Let's get into it. Myth number 1, self-care means treating yourself. We've all heard it. Go shopping, buy that expensive coffee, you deserve it. And yes, enjoying yourself isn't wrong. The problem starts when treating yourself becomes your only coping strategy. If every stressful day ends with spending money, emotional eating, scrolling for hours, or avoiding your problems, that's not self-care. That's temporary comfort. And temporary comfort often creates long-term problems. You feel better for a few hours, then the stress comes back. Sometimes even worse than before. Real self-care isn't always exciting. Sometimes it means saying no to unhealthy habits. Sometimes it means getting enough sleep instead of watching another episode. Sometimes it means cooking a healthy meal instead of ordering fast food. Sometimes it means saving money instead of buying something you'll forget about next week. Those choices don't always feel rewarding in the moment, but they pay you back later. Real self-care isn't about making today easier. It's about making tomorrow better. Ask yourself this. Will tomorrow version of me thank for what I'm doing today? If the answer is yes, that's probably real self-care. Myth number 2. You have to be productive every single day. Social media has convinced us that every day needs to be productive. Wake up at 5, exercise, read 10 pages, meditate, work 8 hours, learn a new skill, journal, sleep early, and if you miss even one thing, you feel guilty. But here's the truth, you're not a machine. You're a human being. Your energy naturally changes from day to day. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days, even getting out of bed feels difficult. That doesn't mean you're lazy, it means you're alive. Rest isn't laziness, it's recovery. Imagine trying to drive a car without even filling the gas tank. Eventually, you'll stop moving. The same thing happens to your mind. Taking breaks doesn't make you weak, it makes you sustainable. The people who succeed for years aren't the ones who push themselves the hardest every single day. They're the ones who know when to work hard and when to recover. Success isn't built by constant hustle, it's built by consistency. Remember this, rest is productive when it helps you become healthier, happier, and stronger. Myth number 3, self-care means avoiding stress. A lot of people think a peaceful life means a stress-free life, but that's impossible. Stress isn't always your enemy. In fact, some stress is necessary. Think about it, learning a new language is stressful. Starting a business is stressful. Going to the gym is stressful. Speaking in front of people is stressful. Applying for your dream job is stressful. Yet, these are often the experiences that help us grow the most. Without challenge, there is no growth. The goal isn't to eliminate stress. The goal is to become someone who can handle it better. Instead of asking, how can I avoid discomfort? Ask, what can this challenge teach me? Every difficult experience gives you a chance to become more confident, more capable, and more resilient. Growth always lives outside of your comfort zone. The strongest people aren't those who avoid hard things. They're the ones who keep showing up even when things feel uncomfortable. Myth number 4, you should always put yourself first. This advice sounds empowering, but taken too far, it becomes selfish. Healthy self-care doesn't mean ignoring everyone else's needs. It means creating healthy boundaries. There's a difference. Putting yourself first all the time can damage relationships. But always putting everyone else first can leave you emotionally exhausted. Healthy relationships require balance. Sometimes you will give, sometimes you will receive, sometimes you will help, sometimes you will say, I'm sorry but I can't. And that's okay because every time you say yes to something, you're also saying no to something else. Your time, your energy, your peace. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. You decide who comes in. You decide when they are open. Protecting your peace doesn't mean pushing everyone away. It means surrounding yourself with people who respect your limits instead of constantly testing them. Myth number 5. Healing has a deadline. One of the biggest lies social media tells us is this: you should be over it by now. Whether it's a heartbreak, failure, losing someone, making a huge mistake, or struggling with anxiety, people often feel pressured to heal quickly. But healing isn't a race. Some wounds take weeks, others take months, some take years, and that's okay. Progress isn't always visible. Sometimes healing looks like crying less often, sometimes it looks like smiling again, sometimes it looks like getting out of bed, sometimes it simply means choosing not to give up today. Don't compare your journey to someone else's highlight reel. I always say this: you never know what someone is hiding behind the camera. Healing isn't linear. Some days you'll feel like you're finally moving forward. Then suddenly you'll have a difficult day again. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. Be patient with yourself. Keep showing up. Even slow progress is still progress. The truth is, self-care isn't about escaping life. It's about building a life you don't constantly need to escape from. Real self-care is often boring. It's drinking water, sleeping enough, moving your body, setting boundaries, facing difficult conversations, saving money, keeping promises to yourself, going to your appointments, putting your phone down, doing the things that your future self will quietly thank you for. Because every small choice you make today is shaping the person you become tomorrow. No single habit will change your life overnight, but hundreds of small choices repeated consistently absolutely will. So the next time you hear someone say just treat yourself, remember this: the greatest act of self-care isn't giving yourself everything you want. It's giving yourself what you truly need. That's how you build a happier life, not for today, but for years to come. If this video made you see things differently, hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.